Imagine a woman who says, no, just no. No justifications, no apologies, no fear of your reaction. What do you feel right now? Admiration, irritation, anxiety? Hold on to that feeling. Because 3,000 years ago, humanity felt exactly the same thing and decided to turn that woman into a demon. Her name is Lilith. And today we're going somewhere most people don't dare. Into that part of the psyche that Jungian psychologists compare to a radioactive zone. The place where everything we fear in women lives, and everything women fear in themselves. The official version of the Bible that everyone knows, Eve, made from Adam's rib. Obedient, quiet, the perfect companion. But there's another version, ancient. From a Jewish text of the 8th or 9th century, the Alphabet of Ben-Sira. Lilith was created first, from the same dust as Adam. Not from a rib, from equal material at the very same moment. And that's the entire conflict. Adam wanted her beneath him during sex. Lilith said, "We are equals. Why should you be on top?" Adam had no answer to that question. He went to complain to God. And here something fundamentally important happens. Lilith did nothing wrong. She didn't kill, didn't deceive, didn't betray. She simply refused hierarchy, refused to be the one below. What did society do? It turned her into a monster. After fleeing Eden, she becomes the mother of demons, a creature that kills infants and seduces men in the night. From a woman who wanted equality, culture sculpts a nightmare. Pause for a moment and think, what does this say? Not about Lilith, but about those who created this myth. Carl Jung introduced the concept of the shadow, that part of the psyche we reject, deny, and hide. Everything that doesn't fit our image of a proper person. Lilith is a shadow, but a special one, multi-layered. Let's break it down. For the male psyche, the shadow Anima. Jung said that every man has an anima, an inner image of femininity. It can take many forms. The nurturing mother, the mysterious muse, the devoted partner. And then there's the Lilith Anima. This is the part of femininity that a man cannot control, that cannot be bought, tamed, or converted into a convenient function. She doesn't need his approval. She doesn't recognize his authority. And that is terrifying. Not because she's evil, but because she reveals something. There is something beyond the reach of your authority. There is a power that doesn't ask permission. That's why men who fear their own powerlessness the most project that fear onto real women. They call them femmes fatales, witches, manipulators. Any word that shifts responsibility for their own emotions onto her. For the female psyche, the shadow of the Great Mother. If Eve is the light mother, nurturing, self-sacrificing, always placing others' needs above her own, then Lilith is her shadow. Lilith says, "My needs exist too." Lilith says, "I am not obligated to be convenient." Lilith says, "No." Society teaches women that this is selfishness, cruelty, being a bad mother, a terrible wife, a difficult person. But Jung saw it differently. Embracing your inner Lilith is not becoming a monster. It's becoming whole. It's the path to individuation, the ability to exist without constant external validation, without the anxious question, "Am I good enough?" Now for the most interesting part. Why does powerful femininity provoke such systemic fear? Not in individual people, but in cultures, religions, entire civilizations. First reason, the threat to predictability. An independent woman, economically, emotionally, sexually, breaks the old system. The patriarchal archetype of the ruler depends on someone being dependent on him. If a woman isn't, what does his power rest on? This isn't theory. Look at any culture that kept women without the right to property, without education, without choice in marriage. That entire architecture wasn't about protecting women. It was about managing a resource that becomes dangerous when it gains freedom. Second reason, sexual autonomy. Lilith, according to legend, decides for herself when, with whom, and how. She is a subject, not an object. Culture does the opposite. It turns female sexuality into a trap, a temptation, a sin. This is no accident. If a woman is guilty of a man's desires, he removes responsibility for his own impulses. The classic trickster archetype, shifting blame through the narrative of "she was seducing me." Lilith dismantles this construction by the very fact of her existence. Third reason, fear of the wild woman. There's an archetype that Clarissa Pinkola Estes described in her famous book. The wild woman is a deep primal force in the female psyche, instinctive, uncontrollable, connected to nature, chaos, unpredictability. Civilization is built on taming chaos. The office, the schedule, social roles, all of this is structure. And Lilith reminds us, beneath that structure, something deeper exists. Something that doesn't fit into Excel spreadsheets and career plans. And that something is part of every woman. The part that years of conditioning taught her to silence. Lilith is not a demon. Lilith is a mirror. When we demonize autonomy, we reveal far more about our own fears than about autonomy itself. For men, working with the Lilith archetype means encountering your own shadow, acknowledging that there are forces beyond your control, and that this is okay. More than okay, it's liberation. Because if you don't need to control everything, you can finally rest from the role of the one in charge. For women, it's an invitation to reclaim the rejected parts of themselves. The one who says no, the one who gets angry, the one who wants, the one who doesn't ask permission. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." The Lilith who is ignored doesn't disappear. She simply shows up differently, as outbursts of rage no one understands, as self-sabotage, as women who spend years trying to satisfy everyone and can no longer remember what they want for themselves. So the question isn't whether Lilith is a demon or not. The question is, are you ready to meet her? If this video made you feel something, whether comfortable or not, write it in the comments. The most interesting thoughts live inside discomfort. See you next time.